is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sith Talk. Today we have on the show Elvis from the Brodalorian YouTube channel. How you doing, Elvis?
I'm good, man. What's good?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. So tell us a little bit about your channel, what your channel focuses on, and where we could find you.
Yeah, so my channel is the Brodalorian, and I like to do all kinds of Star Wars prop stuff. So mostly lightsabers, but I also do a lot of 3D printing, and I like to make helmets. And a lot of times I, find another Star Wars fan that's into it as much as I am, and I try to figure out something they'll like, and I make something and send it to them as a gift. So that's kind of been my thing for the last couple of years.
Nice. Awesome. So, guys, I'll put the link to his channel down in the description. Definitely check him out. He has a fire video he just did. We're going to talk about in a little bit, but definitely check him out for sure. But before we get into all the fun stuff, I have 3 questions that I ask everybody that comes on here. So, are you ready?
No, I probably should have done some homework. But shoot, what you got?
Good. It's simple.
I've watched a few, so yeah, it's like the favorite movie and that kind of thing, right? Okay, cool.
Yes. So the first one is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
I'd have to say Revenge of the Sith,
Nice.
which I know is like the safe answer or whatever, but that or maybe Empire. But yeah, I mean, I really connected with Return of the Jedi as a kid, but like I really connected with Obi-Wan ever since The Phantom Menace. So like that scene, well, I'm actually wearing the shirt, but like the scene when it's like, you were my brother, I loved you, like yeah, that's the best scene in Star Wars in my opinion. So it's my favorite movie.
Yeah, no, that's what most people say. Most people, it's either Revenge or like Empire. Those seem to be like the top 2 for like a majority of people that that I speak to and stuff.
Well, they're good movies.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either or. But yeah, I'm right there with you, bro. Revenge of the Sith all day, man. I still remember going to the movie theater Thursday midnight to see it, and it just was such an epic experience, man. Epic.
Yeah, I saw it at midnight too at this huge theater, and I remember because I wore my Sith contacts and a big like Emperor's robe when I went to go see it, and I was like, "Why did I do that?" Because I had like this yellow flare around my eye the whole time I was watching the movie from the contacts. Kind of ruined it. I had to go see it again the next day.
Damn.
But yeah, it was a good time.
Crazy. All right. So the next one is, what's your favorite Star Wars show?
I'd have to say Obi-Wan. Probably noticing a trend.
Yeah.
It'd be a real hard pick for me between Obi-Wan and Clone Wars. Live action, definitely Obi-Wan, but I think Clone Wars is where that relationship of Obi-Wan and Anakin really fleshed out. We learned so much about them. Like, why were they brothers? That was the Clone Wars. But yeah, I mean, Ewan McGregor, he's the man. The dude.
Yeah. So, have you met him before?
I have, yeah, actually.
Yeah, it's so magical just talking to him and just hearing his voice, his accent in person.
Yeah, I brought a couple of lightsabers with me to meet him when we did the photo shoot. And I walk up with 2 lightsabers, and I'm like, my hands are like shaking.
Yeah.
My wife was like, "You need to like breathe, like chill." And so I was like, "Just say hello there. Say hello there. Hey, say hello there." And so I walk up there. I'm like, "Hello there, Ewan." Like it was.
Yeah.
But he was so nice. He smiled. He's like, "It's one of those for me." And I was like, "Yeah, do you mind doing a hero pose?" And he's like, "Let's do it." And at the same time, we both went up. And they snapped the picture. Like it actually made the interaction much quicker because I said hero pose and we just did it. They snapped it and I was done.
Yeah.
Like I wish I would have taken longer to like talk to him, but oh well.
Yeah. Damn, that's so cool. Yeah, I met him in 2022 at Anaheim Celebration and twice in London. So when I saw him again in London, I took a photo with just him, and I was wearing a T-shirt with the photo that we took at Anaheim.
That's right. I remember that.
When I went up, he was like, "That shirt was awesome." He started dying laughing. He loved it. It was so crazy just to like make him laugh and to hear him say that. So any chance I get to meet that man, no matter the cost, which is always crazy, it's worth it because he's just so magical, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's cool that you like the Kenobi show. Not a lot of people, that's their favorite show. Now, do you want a second season of Kenobi?
I want the threequel movie thing. That it might have been.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I feel I don't know. Like, what's the name of the cut? The person that like cut all the shows together into one like movie?
I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about.
It's like
He
the
like
Anderson
edited.
cut or something. I
Yeah,
forget what it is.
something like that. Yeah.
Um, I think I'd prefer something like that, but we're already in that series mode now, so it would have to be another, series versus a
Yeah.
movie, I think. But I don't know, man. Like it fit really well. They tied up some loose ends really beautifully.
Hmm.
Um, that last scene between Obi-Wan and Leia when he talks about the qualities you got from your mother and your
Yeah.
father, and
That
like
hit.
they just because there's so many things you're like, how are they going to make this line work in A New Hope? There's so
Yep.
many moments that they did it so elegantly and poetically that it almost could wreck it if they did another series. So I honestly don't know if I want it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want more. I just
Hmm.
don't want them to ruin it. If that
No,
makes sense.
no, I know what you mean. The only reason I would want more is just to see Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon training
Yeah.
so bad. Because we got that Force Ghost of him at the end, bro, I teared up. I
Yeah.
I almost lost it. I was like, it just hit so
Oh yeah.
hard, so hard. So
That'd be
I
beautiful. And him and reconnecting with Cody, and they already kind of, hinted at it with Bad Batch 2. And
I know that would have been so dope too. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, man. Crazy, man. But yeah, I enjoyed Kenobi. The only thing that I didn't enjoy was just all the time wasted like on other characters, like specifically like Riva, because it just took more time away from Ewan and Hayden, and that's all I wanted to see. So that was my only gripe with the Kenobi show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it was a fantastic series. A lot of people they don't rank it in the top, but I think it's definitely up there. I liked it better than season 3 Mando, but that's kind of a hot
oh,
take.
of course, yeah, because season 3 of Mando, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later, but it was just so inconsistent, bro.
Yeah.
So now the last question is, and I probably know the answer from you answering the first two, but who is your favorite Star Wars character?
I think I'd have to go with BB-8. No, I'm kidding. Obi-Wan. Am I allowed to say that on Star Wars Sith Talk? Like, can I talk about liking a Jedi?
Yeah, of course you can. Look,
Yeah,
look
no,
what
for
I'm wearing
me,
right now. I got
I
Obi
know.
Wan
I
right
saw
now.
that. I was like, that's
Yeah,
perfect. Both wearing
yeah,
Obi-Wan shirts.
yeah. Oh yeah. So which Obi Wan is your favorite? Is it Ewan or is it Alec?
Definitely Ewan.
Ewan, because I mean we got more, like way more of him than we did of Alec.
Yeah, I mean,
So
like 100 times more. Yeah, only a
so
few scenes with Alec, but I mean, no offense to Alec, I was a fan of Obi-Wan even before the prequels came out. But Ewan is what really fleshed it out for me, and that was like, yeah, that's my favorite character.
no, for
When it
sure.
went, so like when you think about someone that's just in total service to others,
Hmm.
like the guy's given his life to what he believes in, the his religion,
Yeah,
and constant sacrifice, constant loss, never turns,
yeah.
always is. I always like that last hope to keep things going. Um, and I don't know. It's like it. I like that story more than Anakin's, which might be a little sacrilege to say, but
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
No, it is, and you're right because he lost everything, everything. Especially like in Clone Wars, you got a lot more of it. Like with Satine, like
Yeah.
he almost like left the Jedi Order to be with her. Like I think he even said in one episode, if you would have said the word, I would have left after like Maul stabbed her. So like, yeah, man, he's been through a lot, and he never once turned, which is
Hmm.
crazy. So
Do you read the comic books too?
some of the comic books, I don't have a whole lot because that's a dangerous rabbit hole with comic books,
Yeah.
man. But I've seen some of the
He's
stuff
lost
in the
some really
comics.
close friends, other Jedi. I mean, his family, but I guess all Jedi lose their family. But
Yeah,
Qui-Gon, Maul, the last moment with Maul, even though they were, rivalries their whole lives, like that last moment with Maul was so beautiful.
so beautiful. I
Yeah.
literally just saw that episode yesterday, and I forgot how like poetic and like amazing that end was. It just gives me goosebumps every time I watch it.
Hmm.
So good.
Especially when it does the Qui-Gon pose, and I'm like, oh, he knows it.
Yeah.
He knows it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, so freaking good. So, you mentioned earlier you dabble with 3D printing. So like you do a lot of like helmets and stuff too. Like you did Batmando's Batman Mandalorian helmet, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think you've had a few guests on I've done stuff for. I did a Revan for Sam. I did a helmet
Nice.
for Jim Fulcrum. I think he might have been on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Batmando. But yeah, no. Have you had Blue Mamba on? I don't know if I've seen Blue Mamba on. I've done a
Not
couple
yet. Not
things for
yet.
him.
Yeah, not yet. Me and him have the
Um,
same birthday. That's my birthday twin right there.
really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that Batman Mando one turned out really good. I was pretty happy with that one.
It
Right
did.
now, I'm working on what is it? Might be Sixth Brother. I forget who the bird looking Inquisitor
For
from Tales of the
Chris,
Jedi.
did you make that one for Chris?
I'm making it for Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw that, and it's so crazy because I was talking to him about Celebration in Japan, and I was saying that I might want to cosplay, and then he told me he was going to cosplay as the sixth brother, and I'm like, yo, that's exactly what I was thinking. So easy,
Really?
mask, cloak, gun, and a lightsaber.
I was working with a couple different model makers. So this is Galactic Armory,
Oh,
which looks pretty good. And then I
yeah.
have Chameleon Effects, I think it's called. I forget, but I'm really liking this one. This one's.
Oh,
And then I happened to think it was too big, so I printed another one a little bit smaller, so it has like a little brother. Um,
oh, okay.
but yeah, so I have a couple extra masks right now. But yeah, I was trying to talk Chris into. He thinks it looks like bone, and it's really hard to like in every scene of Tales of the Jedi, there's like the fire next to him, so you see the
Yeah.
reflection of orange off the mask and stuff, so it's hard to tell.
Uh-huh.
In some scenes, it looks like bone, but this all looks like metal to me, and I think it'd be cool to do it in a Lumiluster, like the Din Djarin helmet, like the shiny
Yeah.
metal. But yeah,
Oh.
it's a cool look. This mask. I have to admit, I really like the Acolyte mask too, though. The one that I just did. That one. It's probably the nicest thing I've ever painted. Oh, you got it right here.
So speaking of the devil, I was watching this earlier and I was like, holy shit. Like you have so much patience to do this. And like it's crazy how much work and detail and time goes into it. And like the end result is mind blowing. Like it looks so good. Like how long did this process take for you to do?
So this mask was resin printed, so that saved a lot of prep time. But normally on a helmet, I have about 10 hours in before I even get to paint.
Okay.
So like the sanding and smoothing of the 3D print lines and things like that.
Uh-huh.
It's usually minimum 10 hours of prep work just to get it paint ready, and then things go a little quicker from that point. But this one I got it all done in a week. I
Well,
usually
that's
give
not
myself
bad.
like an hour after dinner before the kids have to go to bed to work on
Yeah.
a project. So yeah, it probably only took me like 5-6 hours to do this one.
That thing looks so it looks so crazy, and I like all the little details you did, like with the gold on the bolts and adding like the vents a different color and like the scrapes and the
You really did
watermarks like
watch it.
that. Yeah, because I was like oh my god, like this is so cool because like I don't have the patience to do something like this. I could never do this in my life. I'm just too impatient. I'll just buy it from someone done. But like the fact that you could do it, like I would just be making so many cool things at the crib all the time.
Yeah, so I've been printing for like 2.5 years now. Actually, I got it in August, so it must be coming up on 3 years. But
Hmm.
I've probably only made 2 dozen things because
Yeah.
it takes so much time.
Uh-huh.
And I make a mistake, and sometimes you just have to start over. Like Jim's
Oh.
helmet, that purple, I think I called it dark fulcrum. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's that like Ahsoka fulcrum in purple and black. I
Mhm.
had at one point I had to just sand all the paint off and start over, because I found out when I used my clear coat gun, some clear coat was left in the gun, and when I went to spray it again, it all just spit on the helmet,
Oh.
and there's nothing I could do. I just had to wait for it to dry, sand it all down, and start over again. So yeah, when you say it takes patience,
Yeah.
it really, really takes a lot of patience, a lot of trial and error. Because I've never painted anything before this. It was just like I'm gonna buy a 3D printer. Like let's
Yeah.
figure it out.
No, for sure. But yeah, no, that mask is so crazy. After we finish recording, we might have to talk because I might need a similar mask that you're making, Chris, for potentially for Japan. So we might have to work something out.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be cool.
Are you thinking about going to Celebration in 2025 in Japan?
Not at the moment, no.
No.
I have the patience to wait until it's in the United States again. I want to go to a celebration. If
Yeah.
it was easily accessible, I'd go to all of them.
No, of course.
But yeah, I can wait until it's back, and I've become very close with a lot of people in the lightsaber community. I know you know quite a few of them.
Yep.
And I've made some really close friends there where I'll go and hang with them. Like we're all going to Florida in like 3 months, and I just went to California with Jesse and Chris and some of those guys that've been on the show.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's most of what I want out of Celebration is the hang,
Yep.
And so if I can get together with Star Wars people, like we went and watched Return of the Jedi in the theater.
That's
like
so
how
dope.
cool is it to go see a Star Wars movie with Star Wars fanatics together? And so I feel like I'm getting what I need, from my friends. I don't know if I need to go to Japan for it, if that makes sense.
For sure. No, yeah, for sure.
But if they do it like in Florida, hopefully Florida,
yeah,
heck, get it to Houston. That'd be great. But the next time it's in the United States, I'll be there for sure.
Nice. There's a chance they might do one in 2026. Now, 2027, they have to do one. It's the 50-year anniversary of A New Hope. Like they have to.
Yeah.
But like 2026, if we're getting those two movies, like it's rumored, it would be a huge miss to not do a celebration to promote both movies. So maybe we'll get lucky and they'll bring it back stateside.
If movies.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a couple articles I'm going to bring up right now. We're going to take a look at.
Cool.
So let's start off with this first one. So there's some rumors that we might get a live action Captain Rex in the Ahsoka show. And it all came from this update for the Galaxy of Heroes game. So
yeah,
they added Captain Rex. And I guess in the past, there's been times where they've added characters and then all of a sudden they were in a show or a movie. And like with this being Tomorrow's face on it, like how good does that look? Do you think we're going to get Rex and Ahsoka?
Absolutely. I absolutely 100% believe it. Like,
yep.
I'm going to go so crazy wild with this. I think we're going to get Plo Koon in Ahsoka.
Like flashbacks or like he survived, you mean? Plo Koon?
At least a flashback, but I think he survived. And I'll tell you why. Because Filoni put all the work into faking people out on Luke with Plo Koon.
Yeah.
Like all of the what's the art, the storyboards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they had everything ready for Plo Koon, and people were on board with it, like at the studio and everything. But then they flipped, and it was Luke as a big secret, which is awesome. But if he was able to make everyone believe it was going to be Plo Koon, even when it wasn't, why couldn't he still make people believe?
That'd be crazy. And wasn't Plo Koon's mask in the Andor show in that dude's antique shop?
I think they did show something like Plo Koon's mask.
Now, Plo Koon is the one that found Ahsoka, right? He was the one that brought Ahsoka to the Order, right?
Yeah.
So, man, that would be so insane.
And there was just a tiny scene with Plo Koon with Ahsoka as a kid in Tales of the Jedi, right? Like, I don't think we saw much of him.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah,
that would be sick, though. I really like Plo Koon.
That would be wild. Unexpected. Most people wouldn't really. I didn't even think that. I'm thinking of a million other people that are going to show up in the show, but I never thought Plo Koon. But
see, the thing is why wouldn't we have seen him in Rebels if he is alive? So that's the only. Well, okay, good point. But I would love to see Plo Koon, but I absolutely think we'll get Tamora Morrison, especially when we didn't get him in Mando 3. Like
I know.
And Tamora, he slimmed down a little bit. He was working out and stuff. Like he obviously got ready for something. So
exactly. So hopefully that they do. I just hope that he's in there for like a few episodes. I don't want to see him like real quick. They stop at a planet. There's Rex, 30 seconds, and that's it. I will be heartbroken. I want like 2 or 3 episodes because
Yeah.
I'm rewatching Rebels right now, and I forgot how much this man is in there. He is in a ton of episodes, chilling in the background, like he's always there. So it makes sense for the story, especially if it's basically Rebels season 5, that we
Yeah.
should get a decent amount of them. So,
Now, do they have Gregor or Wolfie in the game?
oh, I don't know. I never played, but imagine if next week they added those people. How crazy would that be? Because that would
Right?
be sick. And I think I said that to somebody the other day. I forgot where, but I'm like, imagine if we got all three. If they stop at a planet somewhere, and tomorrow's just playing all three of them, and they're on that tank thing, like in the desert, like they were before, hanging
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah, that ATCK thing or whatever it was.
Whatever it
Yeah.
was, yeah. Like how crazy would it be to see that scene like in live action?
I don't think they'll redo the scene,
Or no,
but
just like that
that
they're
would be
there.
super
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
So,
I fear it's going to end up being like a hologram message from them, like in Bad Batch, when they got the message
oh,
from Rex. I
yeah,
fear
he's
it'll be something
barely in
like
it.
that. But I'm with you. I hope it's more.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. We're less than 2 months away. So, fingers crossed for old man Captain Rex, man.
Tomorrow looks really good with the white beard and everything.
He does. He like when I saw that picture, I'm like, yo, this is like, ah, looks so good
I
with
thought
this.
about
So,
trying to cosplay him only because I'm a little bigger and I got a beard and I could soon. I could do a bald cap soon. I won't need
yeah,
one. So
yeah. So that was the first one. Next one I got is some stuff with the Ray movie. Now, are you at all looking forward to this Ray movie or care about it?
of the movies they announced, it's the least I'm excited about.
Yeah,
But
me
it's
too.
Star Wars, so of course I'm excited about it. Sorry, let me turn my
Yeah.
phone off. Yeah, no, I'm the old Republic stuff. Like I'd be very excited for that.
Yeah.
Mandoverse, obviously.
Oh yeah, Filoni's movie. Yeah, of course.
Um, but yeah, this one, like, I don't know. And then the people tease the idea of like Grogu being in it. I'm like, no, 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 let's not.
Yeah,
Grogu's a Mandalorian. He ain't a Jedi. Like,
I have a feeling they'll throw him in there just as a selling point to bring people to the movie. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I get it if they do. Like, I
Yeah.
understand greed, but that would suck. I
So
mean,
what
who knows? Maybe they'll do something amazing. I don't know. Like,
yeah, maybe. I hope they learn from it and I hope it's decent. I hope they bring Finn back as a Jedi because they kind of played him in the sequel, so that'd be nice to see something with him.
yeah,
But this article was saying, I guess a rumor came out, and I never saw it, but they kind of debunked it, saying it wasn't true. But the original rumor was like this little brief description, a plot description of the movie, and it says that the movie's basically set 15 years after Rey's victory over Palps at the end of Rise of Skywalker. The sequel delves into Rey's courageous endeavor to restore the Jedi Order, where she assumes the role of a mentor to two promising students, a girl and a boy. As their training progresses, it becomes evident that the girl possesses extraordinary abilities destined to emerge as the future leader. So that came out somewhere, and people were like talking about that. But I guess they came out and said that no, that's not true. But I mean, I don't know. What would you think if the movie was about something like that?
the only way I see it working, well, not the only way, but a way I see it working is if Rey is more like Yoda. Like Yoda
Oh,
wasn't ever a main character in the movie. Like I,
yeah.
I could see Rey being a mentor to people, but they're not the main characters of the movie. Rey
Mm-hmm.
has had her arc. Like they can add to the arc, but that doesn't mean she needs to continue to be in the spotlight main character. Um, I don't know. That's my take on it.
And I think the original version of the movie was more like that, the Damon Lindelof version of it, because I guess he wrote a script for it. And then the week before Celebration, they let him go because they wanted to change it to bring Daisy back. Because in his version, it was like 60 years later, and it was an older Ray. and it
Mm.
was like an old lady as Rey. So it probably would have been more like a Yoda thing, like you just mentioned, and that sounded cool. I think I would have preferred that maybe. And the main characters were different people, not Rey. I think this version seems like it's more about Rey. She's the main character, only 15 years later, and I don't know. I'm hoping it's good, but I'm so worried about this one, man.
If the latest generation of Star Wars fans is all for it, then I'm all for it too.
Uh,
Then great. You know, at least we have a younger generation that's going to keep Star Wars fandom going forever. I don't have to be the old guy being like back in my day, you know, with the prequels or in the OT, and like if the crowd audience of sequel lovers is healthy, then feed them.
yeah,
You know, keep it alive. But it like I said, it's not the one I'm most excited about. I'm more
yeah.
excited just because it's more Star Wars.
No, yeah, same thing with me. And I know at the very least we'll hopefully get a cool droid out of it that I'll enjoy, and hopefully a new nice villain. Because I liked Kylo. I liked Kylo in the sequels, and then I liked Snoke in the first one, but then like he kind of ended up being nothing. But he had potential to be pretty badass, but I feel like he was wasted.
Well, and it felt like John and Dave were leading up to something about Snoke, but that all seems gone now.
I
So
know. Yeah, yeah,
I I was like, oh, they're basically feeding into sequels here, and then it was just a bunch of Gideons, and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened
yeah.
to the Snoke looking dude on Navarro? Like, what?
It would have been cool if we would have saw maybe like the original Snoke and the one that was in the sequels was a clone of a badass like Sith person. That would have been dope. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
man.
they could still do it. It could be like some failed clone experiment of Moff Gideon that was a Force user, and it just, was the most
Oh,
angled up clone that didn't come out, didn't bake right, like.
yeah, it's true. I guess we'll see in season 4 of Mando. I'm so interested to see what the hell is gonna happen and go on in season 4 of Mando. Because in season 3, so for me, I thought it was gonna take like the whole season to find the mines of Mandalore to go to the waters and all that. I thought it was gonna take like the whole season. I thought that was the big thing. They did it in an episode and a half, and then after that, I'm like, well, what's going on now?
Mhm.
And then it really didn't start making sense to me until like the fifth or sixth episode at the end when we saw Moff escape, and then I'm like, okay, there's the conflict. But then like I feel like there wasn't enough Moff in there. Like they wasted Giancarlo and barely used him. So, I mean, what'd you think of Mando season 3?
It wasn't my favorite. There were cool moments.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that second or third episode, the one where Grogu needed to go get Bo to save Din.
Oh, the
That was
little like Mario
probably
Kart part where he was like, yeah, that was dope. That was so dope.
I remember like I describe it as being on the edge of my seat, but I was actually watching it when I was on a treadmill, and like I almost had to stop the treadmill because my heart was just like racing. I'm like, go
Oh,
Grogu,
yeah.
go! Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but no, there's some cool moments, and I liked Lizzo and Jack Black. That didn't mind me at all. I thought it was fun, and it
Mm,
had a place. Sometimes you just need fun Star Wars. Um, so I admit that one of all the episodes of any Star Wars, that one took you out of it the most because you're
yep.
like, I recognize these people as famous
Yeah.
people. But I was okay with that. I was fun with that. And Bo's arc, like when he wrote your song hasn't been written yet, or a
Yeah,
couple,
yeah, yeah.
I was like, wow, like these are some really good scripts, like good dialogue. It was written. There were pockets of really really amazing
Yep.
writing,
Yeah.
but like writing on Andor season 1, I think was better than all of Mando season 3. Like if you compare the seasons,
Yeah, yeah.
writing
No,
Andor was
yeah.
better.
Yep. I agree with that, and I did not really enjoy Andor at all. Did you're an Andor fan? You enjoyed it?
I did like Andor, yeah. Only because I had zero expectations going in. I'm like, whatever they give me, they give me. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is cool. Like I was into it pretty quick.
See, I should have did that because in the back of my mind, see, this is my problem. I have these expectations in my mind, and it never happens. Because like in my mind, I'm like, oh, everybody's running around. Ahsoka's running around. Rex, Maul, Palpatine. Like we could see Obi-Wan could pop up. So like I'm hoping, because like this time period is like prime. Like everyone's in their prime running around. And like,
Yeah.
it wasn't really about any of that. It was more just that. So I mean, there are a couple episodes I enjoyed, but it was just kind of just slow and dragged
It
on for
was
me.
slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're not going to give us a bunch of cameos in it because the
Yeah.
main character is the grittiness. The main character is the Empire pissing off the galaxy. Like
Yep.
the evil greed Empire is, I think, is really like the main character there.
Yeah.
They're painting this picture of this is why a rebellion was born, because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's what they're really going for. They don't need Boba Fett to show up and save the day or whatever.
Yeah.
They're it was kind of like Endgame. I'm sorry, not Endgame. Light, and we all
Yeah.
know Andor leads into Rogue One, which leads right to A New Hope.
Yep.
So like we need to get a little even. Is it even dark enough yet? Like, are they going to get darker? I wonder if they will.
I think so, because we saw the trailer for season 2 at London Celebration,
Oh, really?
and it looks dark, gritty, and fast paced, which is good.
Good.
So yeah, and I think a few of the episodes, like it time jumps. So like one episode might be at a certain time, and then the next one is the next year, and then the next year. So like things should be moving a lot faster in this one.
Okay. Yeah, so there might be like some sleeper cell stuff where like it took a year to get into
Yep.
being a spy or whatever. Okay, that's cool. I'm into that.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, the 12 episodes, it could have been like 6. Like if they would just cram it into 6,
yeah,
it would have flowed really, really good.
We need another cut of that show, just like everyone else is recutting everything.
That might be sick, actually, to cut out all the malarkey, the random stuff, and just make it nice and tight. Yeah. So this weekend they announced we should be getting either the final trailer or just footage from the Ahsoka show. So I guess it's going to be either Saturday the 1st or Sunday the 2nd during something called Essence Fest Primetime, which is streams on Hulu, where we're going to get a new look at Ahsoka, the Haunted Mansion movie that they're dropping, and something called Wish. So I'm excited to see this potential final trailer or whatever it is, because I'm hoping that we see or hear Thrawn. Now, at London Celebration, they showed us a version of the trailer where we saw Thrawn's face straight on, like he walked up and we saw him, and like that's how we knew it was Lars Mikkelsen. And then as soon as that trailer finished, Lars came out on stage and everybody went nuts. But I want that to come out for the public, for everyone to see Lars, man.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that's a big enough character to know why, or big enough fan to know why him being the character is so important, already knows, I think. So
yep.
Like for the normies to see it, I don't know if it's going to have much of an impact.
Oh, for them, no. They'll be like, "Who's this blue guy with red eyes?" They have no idea. but for the sweaties, they're gonna see him and like, wow, they're gonna be hyped. Mainly because it's the same actor, so that voice is gonna be flawless. Like when we first got Bo-Katan and it's the same actress,
yeah,
it just sounds so good and so right. It just makes me happy when that happens, which is rare. It's not all the time.
So what's your take on Ashley versus I'm blanking right now. Rosario, thank you.
So at first, when they announced it was Rosario, I like Rosario just from all her other stuff, like from her movies. She was in Daredevil, Punisher, Defender. She was in all those Netflix Marvel shows. So I've been watching her forever. So I've always like liked her. But of course, like I'd love it to be Ashley, because like that voice is iconic from all the Clone Wars, from all the Rebels. So when we got that first episode of Ahsoka, that first episode of Ahsoka in Mando season 2, I think like the 5th episode or whatever it was, when we got her right away and just hearing her talk, I was like satisfied. I'm like, okay, I could go with it. Like she sounds good. She looks great. She's good with action. So it worked out where in that situation, it's kind of like how live action Maul is Ray Park and animated is Sam Witwer. I love both of them and respect both of them, and they both have like their goods and their bads, I guess you could say, kind of. But Ashley and Rosario, yeah, I'm like happy with how
Sam
that
still
turned out.
does the dialogue though. That's the difference.
I know so like that solo scene, he did the voiceover, which was sick. Now I'm wondering in the future, I doubt we'll get more Maul. I wish we would, but if we did, would it be the same thing? Would it be Ray Park and Sam tag teaming it? Because I would love it either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ray's made a couple of headlines over the last
I
year.
know, yeah. He needs to stay off Instagram when he's drunk, man. I love the
Uh,
man, but come on, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel for the guy, but like Ashley still looks like a Padawan. Like I have no idea what her age is. She could be 40 something. I have no idea, but she
Yeah,
looks
she
really
looks.
young.
Yep, 100%.
I feel like Rosario fits the look of what Ahsoka has grown up to be. Because how many years is it? Like she has to be, because this is after Return of the Jedi, right? So
Yeah, she's older.
yeah, because she was a Padawan in the Clone Wars, so that's got to be at least 25 years. How many years is it?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, but I feel like she fit the bill, and I had the exact same reaction first time I heard her talk. I was like, oh, this works. This
Yeah,
works good. Yeah.
I remember that moment too, because I remember the episode started. They're banging on that gong. They're running in the woods. So I'm like, all right, man. I wonder how long till we get her. I was like, it'll probably be halfway or maybe towards the end. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be boom, 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 two sabers slicing everybody up. I was like, hell yes. But
I hadn't even sat down with my popcorn yet, and I was like, wait, pause it. What just happened?
yeah, it was quick. It was so quick, and I was so happy they did it that way. And I didn't expect to get her. What was it, Book of Boba? Like the 6th episode or 7th episode, she popped up. Like I didn't expect that at all. And seeing her go back and forth with Luke, and how she said, "You're so much like your father," it just
Yeah.
hit so hard. Like people don't talk about that moment that much. Like that's a crazy freaking moment.
Oh, we all went crazy. We
Yeah.
talked about it for days, how much we love that moment.
And like what I want to see, and I pray Filoni shows us in Ahsoka, I want to see a flashback of when Ahsoka meets Luke for the first time. And I want to see the moment Ahsoka finds out that Luke is Anakin's son. And I want to see the moment that Luke finds out that Ahsoka is Anakin's Padawan. Like that conversation, and then for Luke to tell her that, Anakin came back to the light, bro, that will bring a tear to my eyes to see that live action.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I'd
Deep.
love that conversation, but it's not a plot carrying conversation.
Oh
So
no, not at all, not at all. But that's
so
just me
you
being
need to
greedy.
have a pretty chill moment to have that conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be
So
awesome to see.
yeah, because it had to have happened. Like it had to have happened. Because like clearly in that Book of Boba episode, they already knew each other. They were going back and forth. All right, I'll see you later. Like
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I like Rosario. I'm satisfied. So
I hope if they do flashbacks to Clone Wars or something like that, they do use Ashley's voice. That would be pretty cool.
I was just about to say that. So there's rumors they casted a younger actress. I think it's one of the girls from House of the Dragon, one of the younger girls from in there. They supposedly casted her to be a young Ahsoka in a flashback. And how sick would that be if Ashley voiced her? Because if it's a flashback, it's gonna be a quick moment. Like that'd be easy to do that voiceover. That would be so sick.
Yeah. See, if anything, in Obi-Wan, when they did the flashback and it was Attack of the Clones time, I was like, wait a minute. You guys overshot here. Whoa, what's going on? 40-year-old Padawan doesn't make sense. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's admit it. They could have done a bit of de-aging. And if they did de-aging, they could have done a way bit more.
No, he did look old as shit, but I was so happy in that moment that it didn't phase me. But like afterwards, I'm like, yeah, he looked old, especially Hayden. His bro, like he looked old. But
Yeah.
I just
Was
was
he
happy
supposed to
to
be
see
what,
that flashback.
17?
Something like that. Yeah, he was young. Like, yeah. He definitely didn't look nowhere near that. He looked like an old, wrinkled man. Hewan didn't look too bad, but Hayden was the one where he had a lot of wrinkles still.
Yeah. And when you see what they do, like when they de-aged Michael Douglas, I'm like,
Oh, and like one of the Ant-Man movies or whatever it was,
and
he
they
looked
did
young as
Sam
hell.
Jackson the whole
Yeah.
movie. Sam
Oh,
Jackson's de-aged.
the Captain Marvel movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
they couldn't have spent a little bit of time. Whatever. I'm not complaining. It
Yeah.
would have been nice if they did that.
No, exactly, man. But yeah, this weekend, man, that trailer should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So this rumor is from KK mentioned that in that Ray movie, where's it at? That how so KK referenced Ray's promise to Luke and how that's the core of where we're going. So she said, I think what's always great about Star Wars is it's a big galaxy and we're coming off what was major war with the First Order, and now Ray has made a promise to Luke, and that's really the core of where we're going and what this story will be. So a lot of people are saying that there might be like, Luke might be in the Ray movie, whether it's a Force Ghost or a flashback. How do you feel about them using Luke in the Ray movie if they do?
I'm into it.
Yeah?
Yeah, so to be honest, I think Mark Hamill needs a little bit of redemption,
Yeah?
and they could give it to him. You can't overly use Force Ghosts. I get that.
Yep.
But with a little bit of dialogue, I mean, they could do them a little better. To be honest, like I understand there's sequel lovers out there. I'm so sorry, but I mean, we didn't get Luke with Han, and then
I
even with Leia, it was the Force. Just
I know, bro. I know. We were robbed of a shot of like all of them in the Falcon. How beautiful would that have been?
yeah,
But
and he
yeah,
was so grumpy and just I don't know. Like, so we know that Yoda was like, "F the books, F the order." Maybe it needed to go down. Like, whatever. Like,
yeah.
maybe we need to rebuild. Like, we did this to ourselves. Come on, what are you trying to save? So like a new order with a new vision would be great with a little bit of Luke, and they could use some other people too as Force Ghosts. Again, you could go overboard really fast with Force Ghosts. I get that,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think specifically Mark Hamill could do well and make it right, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It would be nice, but I just hope if they do use it, they use it right and it makes sense and it does like kind of give him his redemption. I don't want them to use it just as like to drop him in the trailer. Oh, Luke's in it and he's either barely in it or it just doesn't help or make
Yeah,
sense.
like when you see
That's
the
when I get
hand on
worried.
R2 at the end of the Force Awakens trailer, like
Yeah,
everyone goes
yeah,
nuts, but that's all you get. And
yeah. That's
when
what I'm worried about. Like trying to use like a snippet of Force Luke in the trailer, and then you see Grogu a little bit older in the trailer. Everyone's gonna go nuts and go see it. I just hope I'm gonna try to stay positive. I hope it just makes sense and is good.
yeah,
That's all you can really
I'm
do,
so
man.
scared.
Yeah, I'm really worried, and like if it is gonna drop in 2026 in that May slot, and if Filoni's movie is in December, it's kind of like, are they doing that on purpose? Like in case that movie bombs, oh wait, guys, we have Dave's movie coming up next. You'll be fine because we all know you want to see that. So,
Yeah.
and I
I
think it's
personally feel that they're already making a huge mistake by saying there's timelines. Like,
yeah.
like you fired a writer days before celebration. You're talking about a timeline. Like, do you even have a story? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, man. And then like another crazy thing is KK like recently said that she wanted all the next Star Wars movies to be like James Bond events, like every 3 years. She wanted to spread it out and take time to make it more of an event, right? Now you're giving us potentially two in 2026 and then one in 2027. That's
Yeah,
literally three movies in 18 months. That's not a. I'm worried.
yeah. I mean, Rogue One and Force Awakens were pretty close, weren't they?
Yeah, but I enjoyed Rogue One and The Force Awakens. like if you go back to that time, it was a decent start. It had potential, but
Mm-hmm.
it just took a left turn in The Last Jedi. And plus, before that, the drought was just ridiculous of movies. So
Yeah, yeah.
now we're spoiled. It's a different world we live in now, man.
So, do you want more series or more movies?
Bro, I don't know, cause
Right?
like the series, they're not consistent unless it's Filoni. Like Clone Wars season 7, fire. Tales of the Jedi, fire. Mando 1 and 2 or fire, right? But like, I don't know, man. And then movies, it depends who's doing it. Filoni movie,
Yeah,
yes. I'll risk it with James Mangold because I love Logan, so yes.
yeah.
But like this Ray movie lady, she's like some activist that she's only done documentaries or something like that. I don't know much about her, but like you're giving the first Star Wars movie that's gonna come out in 7 years to some random lady, bro. What?
Yeah, I mean, you get a hot shot DP, director of photography, and maybe you can make it work. But um, so like I would have said series a
Uh-huh.
minute ago, right? I would have been like, watching a movie is great, but like sitting down every week with my pals on the internet and watching like a show and like depicting every second of that
Yeah,
44 minutes or whatever,
that's fun.
that's fun. But then someone goes and cuts Kenobi into a movie, and you're like, ooh, maybe this is better. Like
It,
maybe I don't need that much. So it's really, I would have said series a month ago, but then seeing the movie version of Kenobi, it's like, ooh, that maybe that's the right route to go. I honestly don't know now.
I know it's tough, and like with the movies, you kind of get all killer, no filler typically, and then you get the whole story. Boom! You don't have to wait 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Like Andor was 3 months,
Hmm.
Mando's like 2 months. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how these movies turn out. I have a feeling that Filoni's movie is gonna break crazy records and be like super fire,
Yeah.
and then maybe they'll finally see like, oh, let's let this guy do more and do more of what he wants because he knows Star Wars. So yeah, I guess we'll see how the movies go, but I don't even know which to
And
pick.
also Disney Plus had better shows. I should probably put a asterisk on that. Like the Marvel shows, like I loved Loki
Loki was
and
the best one.
WandaVision. I enjoyed. Like
Yep.
I like all the Marvel shows I've enjoyed. Well, I haven't watched the latest, but um
Mm. Secret Invasion.
I haven't started that. And
It's
what
pretty
was the
good.
one before it? The Miss Marvel or Marvels
Oh,
or
yeah, Miss Marvel. That one. So I went into it and I was like, man, I'm probably gonna hate the show. I don't know this girl. I think she's gonna annoy me. I enjoyed that show.
did
I
you?
was surprised. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. So, and it has a really big tie into some other Marvel stuff that I really
Okay.
like. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll watch it. I like to the Marvel ones. I like to just sit down and get through them. Like Loki, I watched in a single sitting, every episode,
Oh,
like
that's
all
sick.
6 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, so yeah, I mean that's what I'll do with. I might start Secret Invasion just because people are talking about it right now, um, but anyway, like for Disney Plus, if it wasn't for Mandalorian, Disney Plus wouldn't have worked. I mean,
Nope.
at least not as well as it did. So I feel like they need to keep that hook of a Star Wars show to keep people on the platform or put the movie through the platform. But a movie has to be in theaters and like make
Yeah.
billions.
Yeah.
So I feel like we'll always get both.
Yeah. I lean more towards like the animated series because I feel like I've enjoyed a lot more of the animated stuff consistently than
Hmm.
the live action. Mainly because most of it's Filoni stuff, so you could count on that guy.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. I'm looking forward to Tales season 2, and the
Hmm.
next thing we're gonna talk about is Bad Batch season 3. So the actress that does Omega, she posted on Instagram this little trophy she got. So they finish wrapping like recording the show, like voice recording the show. So it should be like going into post production, all that stuff. So potentially we might get a trailer the end of this year because this does drop next year.
Hmm.
Now, at Celebration, they showed us a trailer for this, and it looks dark and gloomy and sad, and it's the final season, so several people are probably gonna die. But did you enjoy Bad Batch? Are you looking forward to season 3?
So I don't hate the Bad Batch. I
Oh,
enjoyed it actually.
uh-huh.
I mean, out of Rebels and Clone Wars and everything
Oh
else,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's,
Uh-uh.
it's
No,
much
no, no,
lower.
no, no. Yeah, not even close.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but I mean, it was still a good time, and like seeing Cody and stuff. Like there were some moments where I'm like, hey, heck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
All the Dooku references and Separatist
Yes,
references and
Dooku's
stuff.
castle, the Zillo Beast.
Zillo Beast
Yeah.
and that what was the name of the planet they almost like settled on? Or I think they went back there at the end of the season, didn't they? The one that the pirate lady's from. But
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I enjoyed it. When they did the tech thing, I was like, no way. No,
Yeah,
I text
man.
Jesse Kyberphonic immediately because I watched it that next morning.
Uh-huh.
It was so weird to have Mando and Badge Batch. It was
I
Mando, right?
know
Come out.
at the same time. Like
Yeah.
the last 4 episodes or something like that. Yeah.
You'd wake up in the morning and be like, "Oh yeah, there's a Bad Batch I need to go watch."
Yeah. Yeah.
But when they had the text scene, I immediately text him like, "This can't be right." He's like, "That's the finale, dude." I'm like, "Really? Like that's it?" Like
Yeah.
I don't know. And the fact that someone didn't they show his goggles
Yeah,
to
the guy found the goggles and threw it like and was like, yeah.
I was
Yep.
like, okay, now I know he's not dead. Because why would they just show goggles? Like, come on. Like now I'm like
They got him in the lab experimenting on him.
I
I have
feel
a
like there's
feeling.
something there, and
Yeah.
and Tech really got a lot of development this year. Of course, they always develop the guy right before they kill him.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like maybe he breaks some people out of the prison there in the lab. I like who knows. I feel like we could still have Tech.
I
I'm
hope.
I'm holding on to it.
Me too. I'm trying to stay positive. I hope that we do. But yeah, so like Bad Batch doesn't compare to Rebels, Clone Wars, Tales. Like, no, it's not the same level. But there are moments in it that are really, really good. So it's kind of like 50-50. Like the episode's either going to be really, really good with a lot of lore and a lot of development on stuff that we like, or it's going to be a random Sid mission where they get lost on a planet and nothing happens.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's a lot of side quests that I just like could do
yeah,
without.
I know. I know. But I
But
mean,
here's the thing. So with the Tech scene, like
mhm.
if you listen to the music and the drama of it, if they bring him back in the first episode of season 3, you're gonna be like, "What the? Why'd they do that? Like, why?
Yeah,
Why all the dramatic? Like the whole hand, the slow motion,
I know. I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
just to
know.
bring him back the next episode."
Yeah, it would have to be like mid or late in the season that they
I think
find
so.
that he's there and they break him out. But that did sting though, man, when he passed, man. It was rough.
Yeah.
So
And
you got
Omega, let's just do something with her already. Just whatever
I
you're gonna do,
know.
just do it.
Like what's your deal? Is she force sensitive or like is she or is she not? Can she meet Boba Fett already? Because that's her brother. Like, can we get a Boba Fett Omega moment, brother sister, for the first time?
Mhm.
So I guess we'll see in season 3. That'd be kind of a waste though if there isn't no Boba, because Boba is still young at this time, right?
I
Because
figure they have to be within a couple of years of each other. I don't know if
yeah,
they were cloned in the same batch, so to speak.
yeah,
Like maybe I don't know. But there's a chance that Boba was an earlier batch than she was, so
yeah,
they got to be close though. Because Camino, if like she's what 12? How old is she?
something like that. I forgot what her age is, man. She gets annoying, man. She's always getting in trouble
Yeah.
for no reason.
If anything, Boba could be a year or two older than her. I would think, but they're
Yeah,
probably really close in age.
I guess we'll see. But speaking of Boba, did you see that James Mangold back in the day was potentially gonna drop a Boba Fett movie, a almost rated R Western Boba Fett movie that he was kind of in talks to do, but it never happened?
I have not heard that, but
Yeah,
that is what the people would have wanted.
exactly. Like I love Boba Fett, but like that show had some dope moments in it, right? But like, like that's not Boba Fett, bro. Like, come on, he's too tough. He's not gonna be that soft with no little girl yelling at him. Like, come on. So I much would have preferred this. I think I don't know. Did you like Book of Boba?
When Cad Bane says you got soft in your age or in your old age, I like that line because it was like, oh yeah, you just explained the whole season.
Yep.
There were moments that I liked. I liked the whole Tuscan arc and all that.
Yeah, with the train heist and all that stuff. I loved all that stuff. Yeah.
Like right about there, and then when we got into Din episodes, like the Din episodes are like the best Mandalorian episodes. Like
Yeah.
the best Mandalorian episodes aren't from Mandalorian.
Which is wild. That should have been Mando season 3. The first 2 episodes should have been those 2 freaking Mando episodes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now we've gotten some pretty sick episodes too with like, Paz Vizsla and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I mean those episodes are really good. And it's like we just lost Boba somewhere in there. And then it was like, oh, I'm back. Let me grab my Rancor and try to save the day. Like
it made no sense.
And then you got the little twirly shooter mod guy, when he's like, he does the spin, drop down to the knee, pew,
know. Yeah. Terrible.
It's like a Robert Rodriguez movie, like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and I understand he directed it, so I think we got what they intended for. So I don't think they miss the mark. I think that's where they were aiming. I just don't like where they put the mark. Like
me neither, man.
Yeah, I'd like it to be grittier, but we also, what if we had gotten a super gritty Boba and then like Andor came out, we're like, really, does everything have to be so dark and gritty? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to see a redemption arc for the fans on Boba. Like, don't give
100%.
too much fan service, but on Boba, let's give some fan service.
Yeah, he needs it, and I was hoping he would pop up in Mando 3 and just be a badass and save the day or do something, but like nothing, bro. The whole season, no Boba.
Yeah, Tomorrow's got a bit of a mouth on him too. Like he kind of complains sometimes.
He did that. Boba wouldn't say this. Yeah, yep. He did.
So I worry about that. I'm like, dude, don't wreck it. Don't not get a call back because you're being a dink. Like, so I worry about that a little bit. But is there an official season 2 or not? Like, I feel like there was, and then there wasn't.
I think there was like talks, rumors, right, that people would maybe want that and stuff, but nah, there's nothing that's like official. Like that's not gonna happen.
Huh.
So
yeah, it would be nice. Like, I remember the line being, people are disappointed that Boba wasn't their shoulder tattoo version of Boba in the show. And I thought that was a really clever way of putting it. Like, it's not, this is Boba, like it's not.
Yeah.
And I thought that's smart, but it's true. We need that type of Boba because that's what people want. That's what people need. Like, we don't.
Mando season 2 Boba was the Boba that I know.
Mm-hmm. And he could be badass in something else. Like, we could see him in something else other than a Boba Fett series where he's badass.
Of course, yeah. So hopefully he gets that redemption. Fingers crossed. We'll see. So this next one is for Andor season 2, they built the Naboo set. So there's rumors that they were shooting scenes on the set from Phantom Menace that there's going to be an episode of Andor that goes back to Naboo, which is crazy. So people were maybe speculating, like, if they go to Naboo for whatever reason, like, is Jar Jar going to be there? Is like Kelleran Beck going to be there? Ahmed Best is Kelleran, like, back in Naboo. So I have no idea why.
This is Mandoverse movie?
No, Andor season 2. Andor, yeah. That supposedly they might be going to Naboo for an episode of Andor.
So we do know Grogu left on a Nubian.
Yeah, that was Jar Jar's Nubian vessel.
So I mean, there is that, but I don't see anything with Grogu making sense in an Andor show.
No,
I
not
did
in
that to be really dumb.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Padme's
Oh,
gravesite?
so
No, that wouldn't make sense. Oh, unless they're not gonna bring Vader into Andor, right?
so you know what another rumor, well, I mean they could, but another rumor was that one girl, I think she was, I forgot all the people's names from Andor, but what's the main dude's name that owned the antique shop?
Luthen.
Luthen. That one girl is his daughter, right? That's kind of like a spy with the brown hair.
She is a very close friend of Mon Mothma's, like her sister or something. I don't think she was a daughter of Luthen. I could be wrong.
I don't remember. Well, that girl that I'm talking about, people were saying that what if she was one of Padme's handmaidens, and maybe that's for some reason they go back to Naboo because she kind of looks like one of Padme's like old decoy handmaidens a little bit.
Maybe. Yeah, I feel
But
like that one's reaching a little.
yeah, I mean it is, but like, hey, these pictures, the set was recent, so I don't know what else it would be for. Um, yeah, man. So I guess we'll see. Unless it's something else that we don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, it might be interesting to see what the Empire was like on Naboo during that time,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they were very much part of the Imperial Senate, right? They
Yeah.
were part of the Empire, right?
Yeah. Jar Jar Binks was their representative towards the end.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Like, this just popped up like a day or two ago. So it's like, why are there Naboo sets? And like,
I
what could it be?
I won't hate a Jar Jar cameo in Andor, but I don't feel like it's needed.
Not in that. And like Tony Gilroy doing Jar Jar, like, I don't know. I and it'd be, I'd rather Jar Jar should have popped up in Kenobi. That would have been so funny to see. Oh, Misa, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, come on, it
Hmm.
would have just been hilarious because they have that bond. He
Yeah.
doesn't care about none of the Andor people.
Obi! Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see if that does pop up next year when the season comes out, or if there's more like leaks and rumors on it. But I thought
Yeah,
that was
that's
interesting.
super interesting. I'm curious what other fan theories develop from that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So the last article I have, that Eclipse game is pushing to drop in 2026. So you've seen the trailer for this game, right?
I thought it was canceled. Now it's back on in 26.
So I guess what happened was they wanted to release the game, they were working on it, but then the studio had some drama, so there was like a bunch of drama with the studio and other things, and now I guess they figured it out, or they went somewhere else, or whatever, but now they're actually working on it and they're making progress, and they're aiming for 2026, which is a good sign because when I saw that trailer kind of blew me away, man.
Yeah, it looked really, really good, and we saw Yoda too, and it was just
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah, yeah.
And it was very dramatic. Like the music was really good. Like you could tell the production value on this game was going to be good.
Yep.
So I'm excited. I also have zero faith in video game dates. Like they might as well
I
just say, 2030 and then move it up. Like I video game dates never seem to stick, but I'm excited that it's still happening. But what's the smuggler game that the trailer dropped recently?
Oh, Outlaws. Yeah, what do you think
Outlaws, like
about
that came out
Outlaws?
of nowhere.
It did, and it drops next year, right? Yeah, next year.
Yeah, like how could Eclipse be such a big deal, and then the remake of
KOTOR?
KOTOR be such a big deal that like gets so much stuff on the news, and then Outlaws just like, oh, we got this too, out of
Yeah,
nowhere. It was so
I know.
weird,
I know. It's crazy.
and it looks
What
really good. Like it looks really good. I'm
yeah,
excited for it.
yeah, it looks like it'll be fun. I like the fact that when you hop in the spaceship, you actually fly into outer space instead of it being a cutscene and you're in outer space and then a cutscene and you're to the next planet. So
Hmm.
that's going to be fun exploring like that. And I heard, that it has like a GTA style, like 5-star system. So if you're like 5 stars of like doing bad stuff, that they're gonna really try to get you and attack you. So that
That's
could be
cool.
fun because I would do that all the time in GTA 2 is just get 5 stars and run from the cops.
Yeah,
So to see that at a Star Wars level would be like very interesting and different.
for sure. Yeah,
So
I'd be into that. And then they got the speeders, like the mods head and Boba and all that. Like,
yeah, the speeder stuff looks fun, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the story is good because like it takes place between Empire and Return of the Jedi. You see Han frozen in carbonite and Jabba in the trailer, so I'm wondering like what's gonna go on with that and what are we gonna see from that. So
mhm.
yeah, it'll be interesting for sure once it drops. So
That's cool. Yeah, it makes me want I want someone to remake Shadows of the Empire. Like that whole time was just so cool between Empire and Return of the Jedi. Seems
yeah, I gotta check it out. So I just started playing a couple weeks ago, The Force Unleashed. I've never played it. I'm so late to it,
I've
bro.
seen you post some stuff or some live stream stuff and all that.
So much fun. Like
Yeah.
I'm having more fun playing that than Survivor and Fallen Order. Like hands down. Like The Force Unleashed, freaking amazing. So I'm gonna go back and play all these old games that everyone loves because I am so late to the game for all those old games, and just catch up on all of them.
Unleashed is a really good one. One of my all-time favorites. I replayed Unleashed just not too long ago.
Nice.
Um, but one of my all-time favorites is with Kyle Katarn, uh, Jedi Academy, I think it's called.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about that. I've never played that either.
I think it's
That'll be on
Jedi
the list.
Academy, Jedi Academy 2, Jedi Outcast, I think is like the actual name
Yeah.
of it. But that one was like my favorite all-time game, but the graphics don't hold up very well, and
Oh no, yeah,
the
no.
game mechanics are a little bad. But that was a really fun game. Shadows of the Empire is the original Nintendo 64 game. It was one of the few games that came out when Nintendo 64 came out.
Uh-huh.
But that was a really fun one. Um, but yeah, no, I'm playing Survivor right now. I have to admit, I really like some of the mechanics in Survivor.
Oh yeah.
Um, just the way that you handle the lightsabers and the way that you climb around things. Like he's so nimble,
Yep.
Cal Kestis. So I'm really enjoying that. But yeah, I think the Star Wars games are just getting better, dude.
No, they are like for sure, especially like the Survivor. Like it just they look amazing, they play great. Now I just can't wait till we get like more stuff like similar to the older stuff, but with these graphics. Like imagine Force Unleashed or KOTOR with today's graphics on a PS5 or Xbox. Like
And
it
that's
would
what
be
everyone said. Yeah, when they
that's what we
talked about
need.
KOTOR remake,
Yeah, it'll be
like,
yeah.
and Jesse says this all the time. I hope it's still turn based,
Oh
where
no. Yeah, that's how that game is, right?
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't think they can do that with today's graphics, but maybe it might be like
Yeah.
this looks so cool. Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, I kind of want them to update it to today's graphics and just have it not be turn-based just for like now.
Mhm.
But I know that's how it was back then. I played a little bit of it. That's just a different style game, but I guess we'll see if that remake ever comes out and ever drops.
Yeah, that was probably. I feel like that was probably one of the most successful Star Wars games. I understand Survivor is probably going to do much better than that, but like at the time, that
Oh
was
yeah,
that was hot. Yeah, that was a good
those
one.
cu- those
Original
cut
Xbox.
those cutscenes are amazing, man. Amazing. Yeah,
We got
man.
through all your articles. Is that it?
Yeah. So I was about to say that's pretty much everything that I had. Do you have anything coming up on your channel you want to shout out coming up soon?
uh, I'm always doing something. I just built a lightsaber for the Darth Rage channel. He's about to hit 10,000 subscribers, and he's going to give away the lightsaber that I made for him.
Nice.
So that's another video you can check out. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna end up doing one of these masks. I have two other helmets sitting here. Well, a third one on the printer right now. But one is a Paz Vizsla, a Gar Saxon with the
Ooh.
horns, and then I'm also printing a Dark Trooper, the season 2 Dark Trooper from Mando.
Yeah.
Because my kid is in love with the Dark Troopers and his imaginary character that he's like. I have the Brodalorian character, that I mean. His
Yeah.
character is a leader of the Dark Troopers, but it's a human in a Dark
Nice.
Trooper like cyborg outfit,
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm making him a Dark Trooper helmet. But yeah, man, no, that's it. I posted a few reels lately on some of the Funko stuff to match
The
my
lightsabers,
lightsabers and all that.
that
Yeah,
was such a sick reel. Like, I didn't want it to end because it was long, and I'm like, yes, let's keep going. And then how you end it with Grievous, and then all the that was so dope. So dope.
that last 2 seconds took me like 2 hours of editing.
To edit that.
Yeah.
Damn, that's sick. Well, thanks again, man, for coming on the show. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me, dude. I can always talk Star Wars.
Oh, of course, for sure. And that's it for this episode of Sith Talk, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.